Hi there guys, welcome to today's Captain's Blog. It's 12:06 hours on Saturday, January 30th, 2016. It is the On the Shoulders of Giants event day today. And it's my job to smack the robot into submission. So, do your job, bitch. Here. There, we're roboting. I'm just gonna let it run full speed, do its thing, be impressive. Should be cool. So people have been commenting. I've been getting a lot of comments and questions on my watch. It's a Galaxy Gear S2, and I'll do a review on it at some point in the next few episodes, like next week when things are slow. So, but it's a Galaxy Gear S2. Now you know. Hi kids.
How we doing?
I'm groovy. What do you got going on? Ball joints?
Bottom control arm.
Okay. Oh, the whole thing's going?
That guy right there.
Yep. Oh, isn't that the bottom control arm and that's the lower ball joint? I could be totally wrong. I don't know shit about cars.
It is a ball joint.
Okay.
And yeah, it is the lower ball joint. Well, they probably usually talk about this, but that's a ball joint in the control arm. Trouble is, in the stock BMW version, you can't replace that ball joint. You have to do the entire arm.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So that's this bolt, that bolt, and this probably just slips in?
Those two.
The whole thing goes, this whole piece?
By the time you wipe out a lower control arm, usually that bushing's pretty well trashed too.
Now when you replace this side, do you do that side as well?
I get two.
Or is that one of those you're supposed to, but you don't have to?
Some people stress it, some people say that's silly. I don't see a problem with the other side yet, so I'm just going to go ahead and do this one, and maybe when I have a spare weekend and another $150.
It's $150 for one of those?
If you get a really good deal, yeah.
Wow.
Through BMW, they're about $2.5, and then another $80 or $100 a pair for the bushings.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is this dingus here on the bottom of the oil pan with the heat sink and some kind of sensor for something?
Yeah, it's definitely some sort of a
low oil sensor.
Could be. Let's see.
I was just curious. I'd never seen it.
Neither had I, actually. I'd never had that shield off before.
Oh, well, see, here.
So
I'm here to teach.
Yep. But yeah, I would say low oil sensor makes the most sense down there. Oil temp sensor.
Okay. Well, you kids have fun.
Oh, yeah.
So I got a cool little project for you guys. You're going to see this happen over the next week. But this is a communications uplink, and it transmits at 21.725 gigahertz. Big radome enclosure. Here, I'll step back so you can take it all in. Who the hell are you? No cameras. Not in here. Hey, Ed. Yeah. I think I'm going to use this for my FPV setup.
Okay.
Because it gives me a radome to house all the antennas in so everything's safe. It gives me a box for the receiver and everything. And yeah, so we're going to have to figure out how to mount that on the roof. So we'll have to find some U-bolts. Can you do some digging down in robotics and see if you can find me the hardware for this? Well, we may have the hardware for this down in robotics. Right at this end of the room, that's where I pulled this. There were two of these down there, and I'm pretty sure we're never going to have a use for them. And I'm really sure we'll never have a use for them. They won't get me in a lot of trouble with local television stations. So I'm going to open this up and basically use this housing for the base FPV rig, so that we can have FPV from the roof to the park. So yeah. See if you can find me the hardware for that. It's going to be cool. You're going to like it.
Producer sort of thing, yeah. And we do CNC videos and help people make their own projects, make internal projects, and that sort of thing.
What are you making in there right now? For nothing?
Yeah, there's a whole lot of nothing. It's just kind of a demonstration. We did a video on G-Code on Thursday, and that's the program that's active right now.
Because I think that one.
Well, that's why you come here. We've got one. You can use it while you're there. Yes, cool out there.
that cover, just smaller steel, solid stuff.
What tells the machine?
Intense.
In this particular case.
So you're getting event pics? Cool. All right.
The demonstration was for
Ed brought donuts for everybody today, so his stock went up like 5 points. And yes, I'm wearing my event day shoes. I'm an 80s kid, we can get away with that. Getting ready for the tour, they got about 15 minutes. Are you excited? Are you excited?
Totally.
Okay. You're just hiding back here? Oh, okay. So this is all the auction stuff set up. Hi.
Hi.
I'm one of the 50 people walking around with a camera.
Explain this to me. They dial this number.
So they text that number.
Right. They text this number and they enter.
So if you wanted to bid on the Grand Rapids Theater box, you would text GRT, the $, and then the
whatever
dollar
the
amount.
amount. So the 300 is like an example.
Example.
Okay. All right.
So if you wanted to bid $100, you would text GRT $100.
Right. Okay. Good.
And you can, on the computer, see what all the current bids are.
Right.
And then when they text to them, they will get a response back to somebody up it. And it'll tell what the current bid is, and it's in increments of $5.
Something like that, and then there will be a high voltage demonstration at 3. There'll be another one at 4. So there's also after the tour, you are free to wander the building anywhere you want. There are people in every department that can help answer questions about that area. So once you have a general idea from the tour, if you have more questions, you're welcome to go find people and get your answers.
It's a safety dinosaur. If you look around and see how many little dinosaurs you can find around the room and in the building.
How many are there?
A lot. Hey, you want to see something cool? Come here. I got a project for you. See the big switch, the light switch on the wall? Flip the light switch. Now push the big green button.
Oh man. I knew that would be cool. Electricity. It goes down my opinion. Smile.
It only goes for about 10 seconds. Yeah, that's 14,000 volts.
Right. That looks like lightning.
Do you think that's
Well,
like
that is lightning, just on a smaller scale.
the same kind of electricity when I go psst, you think it's the same amount of volts as if I static shock you?
It's actually a lot less volts.
It is?
Yeah,
Oh
when
my
you,
gosh.
from like, if you shuffle across the carpet or something like that, you can get up 50,000 volts really easy. That's only 14,000 volts.
Oh my god.
The difference is static just tingles and that'll kill you quick.
Yeah, right? You see that metal in there? That's conductive of electricity. Look at that. You know, like, it's light, right?
Just like zapping light.
Very cool.
It's fun time.
Yeah, definitely for an 8-year-old. Thank you.
8-year-old. 40 and I still think it's cool. Hey Batman! Where's that circle case he cut out? Grab it.
You just gotta set it on top.
I'm just gonna set it on top for the day.
One of the guys wanted
It's not what we want, but it's what'll do for the day. I'll cut a proper pretty one later. 'Cause safety. It ain't pretty, but it'll get us through that day. There, I'll just put a lid on that. It's kind of jank, but she'll be right. There it goes. Yeah, it's okay. Cool.
No, I can't focus that close.
I can.
I can if I get my other lens.
It's probably going to get a little busy today. Sam! Sam! I got a thing! I'm gonna show you! It's so cool! Wait right here, I gotta grab something. Here, you take that, I gotta grab something.
Sam Vision. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Ooh, what's over there? Ooh, the mill's on. Oh, Batman's here.
You're doing something with the blog.
It's Sam Vision. This happens more often than you might think.
Sam Vision or me coming up real close to Sam? Be like, hey, how you doing?
All the time.
All the time.
All the time. Now you can come along for the ride of what I see and what I look at all the time. It's pretty boring. What's Casey doing? Lock of steel in there. Oh boy, he's back. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
You're gonna like this. Alright, so I have
That looks familiar.
a diversity receiver.
Indeed.
Okay. A pair of healthy length leads, 2 output cables, power input cable, 9.5 dB Yagi, I don't know what this one's called, but it's one of the ones from
That one's the extra directional.
yeah, it's one of IB Crazy's rigs. And a Mad Mushroom from all these are IB Crazy. And a handful of adapters. So you know what's going on here, right?
Indeed.
We've got this for close in, we've got this for long range directional.
Right.
I also happen to have this. This is an uplink. I think it's an old video uplink. It's designed to work at 21.75 gigahertz, 725 gigahertz, okay? We can't use this legally without getting our tit in a ringer.
All right.
But what I have is a radome with a fiberglass front that doesn't conduct electricity and is invisible to RF energy at the frequencies we're using.
Aha.
An outdoor mount, an outdoor rated enclosure big enough to fit this. So we put this in here, run the cables to the thing, put our 2 antennas in there.
We can't use that as a receiver?
This is the receiver setup.
Well, no, but like as far as legality goes, we can't use this as a receiver?
Yeah, but you'd only be able to tune into things that, I mean, you could set up an SDR or something, but all we'd have is the antenna. The radio inside is really basic stuff. Take a look. That's all we got.
Is that a waveguide?
An LMB. Yeah, it's a little waveguide. So is this. This is a waveguide. Because the frequencies, I mean, you're up at 20 gigahertz, man.
Right.
So yeah, it's a waveguide. Goes into here. This is probably some type of tuned thing or just a splitter, maybe, and then you take this off for doing readings. Here's your LMB, or just antenna, and there's a little tuning widget bit there, and then you've got your actual transmitter here and a power supply up here, and off you go. But we can't really use that. I won't just throw this away. We'll take it out and use it for other stuff.
Right.
But this gives me a nice outdoor enclosure that'll easily fit this, and then we run our 2 antennas in there. The only downside is you have to go up on the thing and click the button to change the channel or the band, because what I really want, and there's got to be an SDR way to do it, what I want is a scanner
Right.
I want a scanner that'll just toggle through the frequencies, or a way, this has the GS link, because this is an immersion RC thing. It's designed to work with the pan tilt zoom stuff.
Right.
But if there was a way through this plug to change channels, and I could have a cable going all the way inside where I can change channels remotely, that'd be kind of cool. But
I bet
I
if
want to
we
get to an SDR where we can have a scanner for FPV, because then when anybody flies at the park, all they gotta do is get over the tree line and we've got them with us.
Right.
Which would be really cool.
You know what we might be able to do is a quick channel thing. We could throw together a little Arduino mojo and tie into those buttons. We could have something that...
That's what I was thinking. Worst case scenario, I just tie into the 2 buttons. There's a band channel button with a remote bit,
Right.
hook it up for IP enable it with 2 little relays, and off we go. But the goal here is that we'll be able to receive FPV video at the lab and broadcast that on the live stream from the park.
That'd be pretty sweet.
That's where I'm headed. So this is a little project I got going on. And Kane stopped by with a box of goodies for you.
He sent me an email last night.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He's
got plans.
We got okay. You got a plan? Because I got the parts.
I gotta go over a few things with you as far as wire tension. And what was our maximum diameter? 16 inches?
24.
4. All right. I gotta figure out.
I got to get
something.
with him to cut the plugs to start spinning 24. Because once I got to get some wire for it.
Right.
But I think I need 14 gauge wire for that, and a hell of a lot of it. And we'll start winding them.
I need to do some torque and inertia figuring. It's going to do a servo drive.
Yeah.
So I got to find out how
Cool.
much we got to spend.
I'm excited. They're getting ready for the tour. We got to go. Bruce, they're getting ready for tour.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Here we will get started. I would like to welcome you all to the Geek Group. Has anybody been here before? So this is almost entirely a new group. That is very exciting. So welcome. Today is a very special day. We are doing our open house. So after the tour, we are open until 5 o'clock for you to freely wander, explore. We have demonstrations going on at different times, and the staff up front can help get you the times on when the different demos are. So if you want to see something more in-depth, you can certainly do that. We will be splitting the tour into 2 groups. I have the pink group, and Melissa has the green group. So make sure that you check your badge before you start splitting up. So the Geek Group National Science Center is a place for you to come, learn, explore, and play about basically anything having to do with science and technology that is interesting to you. This can be done on a lot of different scales. It can be something that you just do for the afternoon if you want to see something interesting, and it can be a place for you to come and make things. We have all kinds of tools and equipment that are available for you to make anything that you want. If you have more questions on those things that we will be showing you, feel free to ask lots of questions. We will also have a Q&A session at the end of the tour, so when you come up with 30 questions that you forgot to ask me, you can ask it at the end. To get started, we are going to split into the groups. The pink group is going to stay in this room, and the green group is going into the next room.
I'm blue. I'm blue. Oh, you're taking off or green? She's about to take the green.
Yep, I'm going green. So pink group, come on over here. If you have green, follow me. come here and you say, I want to make something, chances are very strong that we will start you out in the world of 3D printing. 3D printing is something that you've most likely heard of at this point, and you might have seen it. It has really captured popular culture over the last couple of years, and it has a good reason for it. It is incredibly inexpensive to do. There is no other easy way of manufacturing something for the cost that you would encounter with 3D printing. It is a great option for prototyping. It is easy to do. You can draw a part in CAD, or you can just download something online. If you want to just jump into the world of 3D printing for the sake of 3D printing something, there are millions of different models available for you to use to do that. If you are making a prototype but you aren't entirely certain if you've got the design that you want, that's where 3D printing really starts to save, because you can print dozens of versions of your model until you get it just right, and you can spend very little money. Whereas if you would start out in making something out of metal, you're going to start spending money from the very beginning, and that is something that a lot of people fall into, where they have to commit to the design that they have because it's not worth it to spend a lot more money to see if you can do something different or better. So 3D printing lets you do that for sometimes less than $1 a part. It really depends on what you're making. So if you decide that you want to 3D print, the person that you will work with is Jerry.
Hi-yo. So over here we have a wide range of different machines. We've got our Finias, which are pretty much your everyday workhorse. They would be like your car. You use, it has the most flexibility. If you're new to it, say you want to get your feet wet, we have the cubes, which make it dirt simple to 3D print, and they work really reliably. And if you have something really specialized, like a big part with intricate pieces and whatnot, we have our Stratasys, who can do dissolvable support material and a lot of different fancy features. So one of the big things we do here is actually getting younger kids and whatnot into the world of developing and prototyping. And the best way one of the ways we do that is we have a program where, like Boy Scouts group, Girl Scouts group, stuff like that, you come in, they draw a nice simple design, and then we can import it and turn it into a cookie cutter that, it prints in 10 minutes, and they have something they made themselves in their hands.
So the reason why the cookie cutter program is so popular is because most kids, especially today, live in a world where things just come from stores. And how the things became to exist is something that's not really on your radar. So when we do the cookie cutter program, we are in a world where you get to engineer something, design it, you fabricate it, you do research and development, because you can make the cookie cutter and look at it and go, that's going to make a terrible cookie. Or you can look at it and go, that's going to be great. It really depends on the shape, because sometimes with more really intricate designs, you make a cookie of it, and by the time it's baked, you have this blob. So that's research and development, that's troubleshooting. And then you go and you have a finished product that works, that's manufacturing. If they decide that they want to make, say, one for every grandparent, now they're manufacturing an actual production run. It's a production run of 4, but it's a production run. And now you have actually gone through the entire manufacturing process. And you can do this at the age of 5. The nice thing with the cookie cutters is it's completely food safe, so you actually can take the product off of the 3D printer and go to your cookie dough. Now, if you have something that's a little bit more complicated, we do have the Stratasys, and this is one that we printed on it. It's Carl Sagan.
Or you have something very intricate, which you want to work afterwards. It allows you to print like interlocking parts and whatnot, and it will just dissolve away the material, and it works.
So once you have 3D printed something, you can either take that product and go to town because it's exactly what you wanted, or you can take the 3D model that you worked on and move forward with other manufacturing needs. We have quite a few available here in this facility, but if you need to do something that is a larger scale or something that we do not have, you can take the same model that you use for 3D print and go to any manufacturing facility and make something with it, because CAD is kind of universal in that manner. So that's it for the 3D printing. The next up on our tour is going to be our audio-visual. If you could all stay in front of me, please. We're going to start out with something. There's a secret trick to it. It does require everybody to be in the room. But there's plenty of room. Come on in. So have any of you ever been to a television set before? Everybody come on in. Yeah. So this is our audio visual department. There's plenty of room if everybody can come on in, please. There's no reason to be shy. This is the sort of tour where everybody has to kind of become friends. Okay, so this is our audio-visual wing of the building. One of the things that we do is we do everything in-house. So if you see demonstrations, we make them. Videos, we produce them. All of our marketing material, we designed it. We really prefer to do everything in-house. A byproduct of this is all of the tools that we use to make our stuff becomes available for other purposes, because as long as we have it, we might as well share the really awesome things we have with the world. So this is where we shoot most of our videos, and before we move a step further, I need a volunteer. Okay, come on in. Stand in front of the green screen. So now you're on the screen. If you've ever, say, watched the weather report on television, this is the technique we use to do that.
Excuse me.
So if you kind of wave your hands around, you will see that it moves in real time with you. And you can see how the weather is not necessarily the easiest thing in the world. If you try to like pick a spot on the wall and point to it, like try to chase the robot as it moves. It's nothing.
So I haven't really figured out how this thing works, to be honest.
It takes a little bit of practice to get there, but what it does is it takes the green screen and removes everything that's green and puts the picture behind it. So this is Elizabeth. She runs our audio-visual department.
Hello. So basically the point of our videos is that we have a lot of really cool stuff in this building, but not everyone can come to it. And we actually have members and fans across the world who just can never even make it to the country, let alone here. So what we do is a lot of the stuff that gets done at the lab gets broadcast either on our live stream or our YouTube channel. And the idea is that we can reach more people that way and teach them new and cool things. And they're also made available to, say, teachers or anyone who's running a workshop. That way they have teaching tools freely available.
And our videos are available for all ages, so you can be 5 or 6 years old and watch it. You may not necessarily get everything from it, but we do try to make it understandable and relatable, and you can be a career individual in that particular field and still get enjoyment out of it. So we don't make the videos just for one specific age group. We include all the real terms and scientific terms, and then we explain what they mean so that everybody can get something out of it. That is a really important part of what we do, is we kind of lay it all out for everybody, and then you take from it what you will. And we also try to keep them like upbeat and funny and enjoyable, because when people are having fun, they tend to forget that they're learning.
We also focus a lot on the subject matter that people want to teach, because we found that people that come in with something they know and are passionate about translate their teachings to other people much more enthusiastically and is received much better. For example, we have a staff member who's really into paleontology. So we have an entire series built around that, where he will take a dinosaur toy and tell you why it's wrong based on paleontology's knowledge right now. And back it up with studies and everything, and it's accessible both to kids but also adults who want to see the concrete evidence for what he's saying.
And I hate to break it to you, but every dinosaur toy you've ever seen is wrong. He has gotten quite excited when they get one that's almost right, but most of them are very, very wrong. And in my job here, I have nothing to do with the videos, but I watch all of them, and I have learned a lot more about dinosaurs than I ever thought that I was going to learn. But I have found myself enjoying it, because when Steve goes and talks about it, he loves it, and that makes me want to watch more. Even if I never sat down and said, I want to know about this, when somebody who's really passionate about it starts going into it, you want to learn it too. And it goes well beyond just the dinosaurs. We've had people do videos on sewing and instructional videos and machining and all kinds of different subjects. So our next step is the main demonstration hall. So we are going to go out of this room and down the stairs.
Works pretty good. You just gotta set a 3 softbox lights in. Where to grade one kind of move them so you can come over down. Go to track or something. Works pretty good.
This is one of the most popular spots by far. We all kind of crammed into half the CBOC.
Oh, right, yeah.
We did the chroma key demo, so it's like, nope, just half the room. Is that everybody? That's everybody now. So this is our machine shop. This is a part of the building that really sets us apart from pretty much any other type of facility in the world. Because there are certainly not a lot of places where you, without being a student or an employee of that organization, can come up and just use big industrial machines to make anything you want. You can make something that's a hobby project, or you can make something that's a homework project. Maybe you're an entrepreneur that has an awesome new idea and you need to prototype. Or maybe you have a business and you need to do a run that does one of your machines down, or you want to come up with new ideas, or you want to order the machine down. So those are all types of things that you can do here. And it doesn't matter to us what you want to make, it matters to us that you want to make. We are here to help you accomplish that in any way possible. So you do the work, but we help make sure that you're doing work safely, efficiently, and intelligently. Because it's pretty easy to draw up a part in CAD and then tell it to make toolpath for it, and have a part that takes 30 hours to cut. And then you push a button and change a couple of parameters, and suddenly that part looks like that. So we want to make sure that you're doing it efficiently. We want to make sure that we get the results efficiently. That's up to you, but we put you on the right track to make sure that you're not losing your time. And if you decide that you want to machine things, you will be working with Casey.
And some of the things that you can make around here can be as simple as just engraving your name or your address in a piece of wood or metal like this, or as complicated as our 3D carbon copy.
We have a lot of people constantly use machines to make big designs. There's a machine inside this green room that's a 4-foot by 8-foot sheet router. So if you've ever put together IKEA furniture, it's a machine that you use to make that big furniture for have big flat sheets. You can certainly do 3D stuff, but it's really shiny great to get it out. And it's all pretty easy to do. You don't need to learn every possible aspect of our machine. You'll just learn what you need to know to make the part that you want. Casey does a pretty good job of putting it together. It's really cool.
I tried.
So this is the main demonstration. This room changes a lot depending on what's going on any particular day and what we're doing. On an average day, there's machining happening over here, and then in the other corner of the room is our vehicle room. So we have all of the tools that you need to work on your car. As you can see, there's somebody actually working on the car right now. The lift tends to be very popular when there's snow on the ground. Because it's really easy to just lift the car up, you can change the oil, take the car, that sort of thing, but you can do more complicated things, and we can do everything up to and including an engine swap. So you can get kind of into it. Now again, we don't do it for you, so you have to learn how to do an engine swap. But if you're willing to learn to do it yourself, you can absolutely, I offer you that opportunity. So the next thing that we're going to see is our robots. However, if you are completely set up with that is not available. What the robot is used for most of the time is learning about robots. Because let's face it, robots are cool, right? I think they're cool. And we do live in a state that has an awful lot of robots in it because it's a robot that goes to cars. So this is a KUKA KR351. The KUKA KR352 is a production model that you can find in a lot of car factories. And they have a lot of similar versions, so if you go to any major car factory in the state, you're going to find a lot of things that look like this robot. And you put different end effectors on it, and if you imagine like a line where one robot picks up the body of the car, and another puts the glue on the windshield, and another sticks it on top of the car, and all the parts go down the line, that's what these robots do. We actually had a member who lives in Germany program the robot, who connected the robot over the internet. He was able to watch a live stream camera and see the robot as he was programming it. KUKA is from Germany, so one of our members is familiar with them, and he decided he really wanted to participate with the robot here, because even though he lives in a part of the world that has a lot of robot programmers, he doesn't have access to a robot. So we wanted to do that. We've had other members just come and get really excited and inspired by the robot. My favorite, several years ago, we had a 15-year-old come, and he just came during an open house, and he saw the robot do this, and he got really excited. What he didn't know is that particular day, the entire trajectory of his life changed because he decided to be a robotics major in college. This was something that he had never considered before standing in front of a robot. He came and visited us quite a few times, and he spent a lot of time in front of the robot. And last year, he actually graduated with a 4-year degree in robotics. And that's something that he would have never considered had he not had the opportunity to just go look at it. Because before that, he perceived robotics as something too hard, that he could not do, that there was no access for it. And when he realized that he had the skill set to do it if he just tried, he was all in. So now he actually works in the robotics field. And that is one of my favorite things that we do here, is provide people the opportunity to make those kinds of decisions about their life and how to think. There's all kinds of things you can do if you just realize that that is something available to you. So our next stop is the wood shop. It's right back through here. There's plenty of room if you want to just keep.
This is why.
Technology, the latest and greatest of what you can do, and really exploring to figure out what you can do. There's lots of room if we all want to come in a little bit more. Okay, Bubba. And while we absolutely champion using technology to be as creative as you can and explore new options, we also champion good old-fashioned hard work. And that is really easy to find in a wood shop. So the wood shop is special. Whereas in other parts of the building, you might be able to just, go up to the sublimation printer and make something and rack out. Everybody gets trained in the wood shop. If you happen to be a master carpenter, the training will go really fast and be really easy. If you have never touched a saw in your whole life, we are very patient. And if you're interested in using the wood shop, the person that you will most likely interact with is Bruce.
Yeah, so as you can see, we got quite a bunch of different equipment out here. Can cover most projects. It's very important for the safety, so like you're saying, you know, we sit there, we spend time with you. Once we verify you are good with all the equipment, you're good for the rest of the time here. We don't need to check every single time. We do a lot of different projects, working on furniture, reclaiming old barnwood to make something neat as a present.
You might have heard some tools running as we were starting to come in here. One of our members right now is making a table. And tables are actually one of the more popular items that people make here because we do have the space where you can actually set up a table and work on it. The other thing that makes this area very unique is there is no minimum age limit to use anything in here. If you are under the age of 16, a parent or guardian will be with you at all times. But we have had 8 and 9-year-olds learn how to use all of the tools in here. And then Dad's just standing with them the whole time. We had a kid come in a couple of months ago with a bunch of 2x4s, and they were stood in front of the planer, and at the end of the day, they had filled the trash can with sawdust. And they didn't make anything. That wasn't the goal, was to make anything. The goal was to learn how to use the planer. So they just kept feeding the wood through until there was no more wood to feed through it. And the kid learned how to adjust the height and what a good height is, and how to recognize the sounds if you're cutting too deep, or if you're wasting effort by not cutting deep enough and things like that. And at the end of the day, the kid was really competent on the planer. And that is a really great thing that you can do here. It doesn't have to be directly making something. The act of learning how to use the tool can in and of itself be the project of the day. We do not do group projects with kids in here. It has to be a one-on-one for obvious reasons. You can like cut arms off in here if you're not paying attention. But if you do pay attention and you're using the tools safely, comfortably, and confidently, it's an incredibly safe area, and somebody under the age of 16 can be very productive in here. So we really didn't feel a need to limit it in that aspect.
So this is one of the areas you pretty much bring in your own materials. We do have some scraps, so sometimes you're working on a project, you need a little piece of wood. You know, we can help you out with that. This is all included in the membership, so there's no extra fee to use any of this.
Yeah, so you can come in and saw for like 10 hours straight, and that is part of the membership, so there's no extra fee for wearing our saw blades out. We include that. So the next stop on our tour is going to be downstairs in the computer lab. Yes. You're now free. Go forth and make as much art as you want. We decided a long time ago that simply wasn't something that we needed here, because most people, if they need to just work on a computer, have a laptop, and we have a lot of people bring their laptop, sit down at a table, and work on their project as they go. Or it's because you need specialized software, such as the CAD software, and that's something that we have on workstations in places around the building that makes no sense. You don't have to draw down here and then go up to the machine shop. The computer in the machine shop waiting for you. This is a room where you come and you actually work on your computer. You can swap out parts, do troubleshooting, build a new computer from scratch, that kind of thing. You are certainly welcome to work by yourself, but the staff here love working with people, right, Brian?
Absolutely.
So there's people like Brian and Paul, who's back in the corner. Hi, Paul.
Hello.
And they sit down and work with you, figure out what's wrong with your computers, make suggestions on how you can fix it. And we also have an inventory of surplus parts, so if you just need a part, instead of going out and buying it, you can get it here, saves a lot of time. What are some of the parts available?
We've got any kind of cable you could possibly need. Expansion cards, graphics cards, some cases if you need some, power supplies. Yeah, you could probably assemble several dozen computers with the parts that we got.
So like everything else, it's not a place where we come and fix the computer for you. You come and do the work, but being able to fix your computer is a pretty handy skill because there is not necessarily the trustworthy place that you know where to go to fix it, and if you know how to fix it yourself, if you have a problem later, you can just do it. And having the power to do that yourself is a really valuable thing.
It's like knowing how to change your own oil in your car.
Absolutely, just knowing how to do it, because maybe what seems like a big problem you get into, it's actually a pretty trivial thing you can fix in 10 minutes. Instead of taking several days to go to a shop, have them troubleshoot it. The next step on our field trip here is the electronics lab.
Yep.
I'm not sure what kind
Anything blows up, that's concussive damping.
Not likely. We're not working with propellant. But thank you.
There you go. Wow.
Oh. How's it going?
Oh, we have our own little lab here.
I know we've got more people than that.
Clearing off the table and letting you do that because I don't want to do one of the breaks. Yeah, I made the first lasagna ever.
So this is the electronics lab. And the electronics lab is the place where the things that you've made get to So you've made parts out of wood and metal, and now you want to make them actually move and tell the time, turn on, turn off. And that's what happens in the electronics lab. If you know what you're doing and you want to come down here and just pick up a soldering iron and go to town, you are welcome to do that. If you have no idea what you're doing and want somebody to help you figure that out, we are more than happy to do that as well. We have quite a few staff members who are well versed in electronics. I think all of them are dealing with people visiting right now because we usually have someone here to show you around. But we have a lot of different useful tools back here to do things with electronics. We have an oven, so if you need to cure with epoxy, you can do that. We have oscilloscopes, meters, and circuit board engraving prototyping. So you can actually make multi-layered circuit boards here in-house. And we have the software to do it here. It's Eagle software, which means that you can do your basic programming of it at home as well. You can then bring the program in and we can cut the boards. If you want to make a lot of boards, we will help you make sure that it's ready for production, and then you can just go ahead and make all of the circuit boards that you need. If you want to learn how to solder, one of the cool things that we have here is a lot of scrap parts. Because I have yet to meet somebody who can solder right the first try. It takes practice, like anything else. If you want to do it well, you have to do it badly quite a few times. And then you will learn how to do it well. So we will give you some scrap boards like this, and you can take the parts off the board, put the parts back on the board. And as soon as your solder joints look nice and clean, then you can go to make something real. It is a better tactic, we think, than getting a kit and hoping that you get it right on the first try, because it's just too much stress to try to make sure that the parts that you spend a lot of money on are going to turn out right the first try. So you can come and work on parts that are never going to work again anyway, and then when you're comfortable with it, go ahead and make something for you. So that's something that we enjoy quite a bit back here. One of the really valuable things that we have back here is you've noticed cameras throughout the building at some point. We have over 125 cameras throughout the building, and they are on at all times. Our membership, which is about 27,000 people, participates with the live broadcasts that we do. So in our chat room at any given moment, we have 100 to 1,000 people watching the cameras and participating in chat. So if you want their assistance, that is what they are there for. They like puzzles, and they like to help people work on a project. And the reason why so many people participate is because they may not be near another facility where they can participate the same way. So doing it online is a really great way to interact with people who like making things, even if you don't have anybody near you who likes to. So you can take the part that you're working on and broadcast it from a close-up camera, and they can help you figure out why it doesn't work, what a better way would be, and things like that. So instead of having access to the 10 or so engineers in the building right now, you have access to hundreds and thousands of them. That makes it so that you can just sit there and talk, and they'll come back and they'll offer suggestions, and it makes working on projects so much easier.
Oh, here they are wandering around.
We
showing all the cool stuff.
Here to make trouble.
Yeah, we cleared off the tablecloths we're shifting from airplanes to rockets.
Oh, excellent. That's right. Today is Rocket Day.
So I'm going to listen to this because this is obviously a tour and she's going to tell us important facts.
It is very important. But it is mostly airplane related. So there's lots of room if we all come in. So this is our aeronautics lab. I noticed at some point last year that we had airplanes like everywhere, all over the building, and I suggested that a room for airplanes might be a good idea. So it's airplanes, but it's also helicopters, boats, cars, anything that can move through remote control. At some point you have probably heard of the term drone. This is a drone. That's a really scary sounding word for something that has 4 or more propellers and moves. So it's not nearly as intimidating as the word might sound. They come in bigger and smaller, but that's a drone. We have helicopters and airplanes, and as you can see on the screen over here, we've got the simulator running. When people come in and they want to get introduced to the world of flying remote control, I usually put them in front of the simulator. The reason is because this costs a little over $100. You'll get a lot of enjoyable flight time out of it, but if you have no idea how to fly it, it'll last you 30 seconds. If you crash the exact same plane on the computer, you can crash it every single time, and it's free. And you can do that for 4 or 5 hours straight, and by the time you're done, you will be flying the airplane and not crashing it constantly, at least if you're paying attention to practicing. Because again, anything else, you have to practice in order to get well at it. We have a lot of parts in here, so if you crash and you need to replace a part, instead of waiting for the part to come online, you can just go up to the wall, buy the part, and then we'll replace it. So we keep an inventory rolling with that. When the weather is nice, we do flight club. In the evenings, we go up to Richmond Park, and a bunch of people come together and they fly their various aircraft. It's not something that we tend to do in the winter because it's very cold. But when the weather is nice and the grass is green, we go out in the evenings and fly a lot of things. So if that's something that you're interested in, we would be more than happy to give you some more information on that after the tour. Today, one of the fun things happening in this room is they are going to be playing with model rockets, which I am a big fan of rockets. So a lot of different clubs and hobby groups come and participate here, and the Rockets is one of the groups that is participating today. So that's kind of going along with everything else. So if you come with me over here. We have a fairly large group. Yeah. So it will take a few minutes for everybody to come on in. Right. Over here.
Hi, everybody. I think I'm a little bit closer so people in the back can room.
Yeah, there's plenty of room. You can come on up.
We don't bite that out.
Pretty hard to hurt yourself in this room. I can't say that about every room, but this room pretty hard. So there is quite a bit of space in the middle of the room. You can see a few people poking their heads in. Wow. I told you, a big group. So this newest program that we are working with here at the Geek Group. It's called Open Doors, and what it is an alternative way for education if regular school environments just aren't working for you. And it does kind of exist a little bit separately from the Geek Group because it's not something where a member would necessarily come in and participate in a random afternoon. But people who do participate in Open Doors have access to the entire facility, which works really well as a good back and forth. So Open Doors is run by Rebecca, and she will tell you a little bit about it.
Yeah, Open Doors actually started a couple of years ago, and we've just now been incorporated into the Geek Group, and we're really excited about that because of all the resources here. In addition to offering an alternative to the traditional education, and I'd be happy to help to talk with anybody about that, we are also offering after-school program too, with the idea that learning is natural and learning is fun, especially when you get to learn what you want to learn. So we're offering workshops for teens and after-school programming, as well as an alternative to traditional middle school and high school. And it's based on learning what is exciting for you to learn. So we do have some papers here on these two tables. If there are any teens present or parents of teens that know that your kid might be interested in a workshop in one of these 16 topics, we'd love to hear from you because we offer things that are interesting to teens. And if nobody's interested in it, then we don't offer it. So we need to know what they're more interested in and what they want to come to the Geek Groups to do with us. Some of our topics are radio show production, sewing, woodworking, of course, some of the things you've seen around here. We also have a writer's workshop that's currently going on. Outdoor adventures is going on. Cooking, we're beginning to start a program. So, and we also have some interest in learning Japanese. So it's a wide variety, and if you wanted something other than that, let us know, and we'll see what we can do with it.
So if you have an interest in Open Doors, once the tour is over, everybody is free to wander around, especially today since this is an open house. So come on down, and they would be more than happy to talk to you all about it. But Rebecca touched on something that is very important to the Geek Group as a whole, is we only offer things that people are interested in learning. So we have classes that we offer on a regular basis, but we only offer the classes and things people want to know. So if people come to us and they say, we would really love to learn about how to make tool paths for the lathe, that's what we'll do as a class. If people come and they say, we want to learn how to make birdhouses, we'll do a class. If you want to learn on your own, you're absolutely welcome to do that, but sometimes a class environment just works a little bit better for each person in a particular subject. So we don't have a set of classes that roll all the time, because if people are not interested in it, there's no purpose for us to try to offer it, especially on a lot of subjects that are easier for just one person to go in and learn, and the staff is more than happy to help you fill in those gaps, because you will find you know a lot more than you think you do, and you can learn most of it on your own, and then we'll help you figure out the little bit that you need to get back on the path to learn the rest by yourself. So the next step on our tour is actually the room right above us.
Have fun. Okay, then.
Still go straight up.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Thanks for stopping in. Better?
It's one of those.
Yeah, it's one of the turn ones.
If you guys are going to have a conversation, it's elsewhere.
Yeah, I know.
Come on over. no way to be subtle with that, I guess. So this is the gift shop. Aside from just being a gift shop, it's also kind of a place where you can become familiar with different things that you can make here. Everything that we have for sale in the gift shop, we make. So that means that you can also make it. So we have things that you can sublimate, which is where you print onto a piece of material and then heat transfer it onto another thing. So the coffee mugs and the slates were made that way. We have a lot of woodworking items here, things that were made with 3D printing and things that you can make on the CNC machine. So just kind of an introduction to the different things that you can make here. If you see something and you're like, I would love to make a coffee cup, but I want to put a picture of my cat on it, that's something that you can do. And all of that happens in the print shop over here. So they kind of work together. A special thing that we have going on today because of the open house is the print shop has been converted into our silent auction center. So I encourage you to come check that out after the tour, and the staff will be more than happy to talk to you about it. And as long as I'm talking about things related to the open house, if you're interested, at 6 o'clock we are doing a fundraising dinner. It's $15, and the dinner is being provided by Two Scots Barbecue. And all of the funds raised help us provide more programming to people in the community and build more awesome things. So the last stop on our tour is the high voltage ladder.
There are explosions.
That sounds even better.
Sorry.
Yeah. Just so you guys know, you don't have to run against the wall. You can't keep up the cages.
Keep going, yep.
As long as you're outside the cage, you're absolutely safe. Inside the cage, oh, that's a problem. Outside the cage, you're fine. Yeah.
Keep going.
Let the short people be in front.
So if everybody could keep moving a little bit, we still have a few more people to fit in.
There's lots of you. Yeah, but those are more good. We got everybody? Moose, split them and put some people down this side.
So I can take some people over here. If I have anybody with a person under the age of 4, please come with me.
I haven't seen anybody really little.
There is a baby here.
Okay. Yeah, babies are dead. Babies are dead. Hey, dude, I have a Mickey Mouse problem. Mickey Mouse, if you're 7, is Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse, if you're like 2, is a 6-foot rat. I have the same problem. Once I get the highball for Moose, I'm going to start. That's the door. Now you're in charge. Okay. We're good? Alright, cool. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Geek Group. My name is Chris Boden. I am the president of the Geek Group, and my particular job here is Wrangler of Electrons. I play with high voltage and high energy physics and the fundamental forces of nature. There's a okay, you know about it right now. If you have a cardiac pacemaker, if you have a cardiac defibrillator, if you have an insulin pump or hearing aids, I need to know. Because some of the toys we play with can do bad things to them. It's never happened, but it's something I'm worried about every day. Everybody cool? Cool. Any of you in the younger generation or the more hardcore people who may have any piercings, if you have a captive bead piercing, a little circle with the ball, if your ball is made of metal or something that conducts electricity, you're fine. If your ball is made of cheap plastic and your ring is made of metal, you may feel a tingling sensation in areas. You'll be fine. Don't freak out if your pants start dancing. It's only the dramatic one right there, and it's such low power today, I'd be amazed if we could pull it off. If you do, let me know, because I'm not ready to with you. So, alright. We're nerds! What we do. Alright, so we're going to play with electricity. We're going to start out. tape. 100 kilovolts gives me about that. So about 200,000 volts. So I'm going to go over here. Now you want to watch out there, you'll know where to look because it'll be kind of obvious. Here we go. You don't have to plug your ears for this, it's not loud. I promise I'll give you warning for the danger, loud stuff. Now, I apologize to all the people over here because the arc went straight from there to there. So if you're like any of you people, you probably didn't see anything over here. And so I'll make up for that for you. You'll get to see cool stuff over there. That just occurred to me. I said, boys, it's great if you're over here. You guys love that, didn't you? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Woo! Poor guys, they're looking at the pipe. They're like, I don't know what's. It's a lot cooler. All right, so how many of you. We're going to age people here right now. How many of you remember the old after-school special videos about don't touch power lines? If you're old enough to remember Schoolhouse Rocks with the electric grandmother, I'm talking to you. Okay, so those of us my age all remember when we were kids, old video, don't touch power lines. Because we were doing those stupid cartoon things. I'm about to show you why. I happen to have my own power line. I also happen to have my own set of giant, super safe flat rubber gloves. These have nothing to do with this. I used to work on a dairy farm, and these are a comfort thing. Sam! Big red. Little red. Okay, now, at this, hang on, trip it. I want to get this out of here just for a second. Pull that back. This makes me feel better. Let's throw a red thing plugged in. Nothing there. Alright. Usually when you see a demo like this, it's in a stage type environment. They're set up to do just demos. This is an actual working research lab, so it's kind of weird like that. It changes all the time. Alright, Sam, you ready? Yeah. Hit me. Now, you hear the hissing, sizzling of, instant death. The thing I'm holding is charged to 30,000 volts. We can pull up to 200,000 watts through. And if I put it on the ground, like a regular down power line, you don't see anything. Just like a little 1-inch arc. Little tiny wheedly thing. That's what you would see in a down power line. This is why you never want to touch one. Sympathy laugh if ever, but I'll take it. All right, now we're going to do actual legitimate science. Whoa. Yeah, Not just have heard the word, but actually know what a volt is. Okay. Amps. How many people know what amps are? Okay, so we got a few. Watts. How many people know what watts are? Alright, so we got like maybe, what, 5% of you, maybe 10, know what volts, amps, and watts are. Now watch this, all about to something else. This, by the way, is where things are going to get loud, but I promise I'll give you warning, so don't plug your ears yet, because I have to talk for 2 minutes. It takes a minute and a half for it to charge. Hi. Thank you, little thing. I will take the key from the super secret hiding spot. You've just been volunteered. Here. You're going to stand right here. Don't go in a cage. I don't want to put any extra holes in you. That's bad. Turns out people are full of goo. Most of it's really gross. All right, system is armed. All right, now here's how you will know when things are going to get loud. This is when you should plug your ears. When you hear this sound 3 times, plug your ears. It won't get loud before then, and you need to hear me talk. Now, picture electricity like water in a pipe. Volts are how we measure the pressure of the water. Volts is the unit of potential difference. A AA battery has about 1.5 volts in it. Amps are how big around your pipe is. So how much water you have in a pipe, that's amps. It's a measure of current flow, like current in a river. Volts times amps is watts. The watts is the unit of power. It's what you can actually do with it. It's how far we can blast the 5th grader across the parking lot with the fire hose. That's watts, okay? A regular AA battery has 1.5 volts at about 1 amp, so you can get about 1.5 watts out of a AA battery. A car battery has about 12 volts at a couple hundred amps. A regular wall socket in your house is 120 volts at 15 amps. That gives you 1,800 watts. This is how you know the guy on Craigslist trying to sell you the 5,000 watt home theater amplifier is lying to you. There's only 1,800 watts in the wall. Your entire house runs on 240 volts at about 100 amps. This entire building runs on 480 volts at about 1,200 amps. And in a moment, when you press that button, you will discharge 1,800 volts at 80,000 amps, which is 144 million watts of power. So for 3 thousandths of a second, you will put more energy through that system than every building in the entire city of Grand Rapids is using at that moment combined. This is how it's going to work. You're going to hear this sound 3 times. Then I'm going to touch you on the shoulder so that you know I'm talking to you. This is not a moment in your life without any ambiguity. I will then say clear to fire. When I say clear to fire, you have exactly one job. You step on the button and hold it down until something happens. I promise you'll know when it happens. Also, try very hard not to pee. There's like 300 cameras looking at you right now. Is everybody ready? Who stole my... Somebody's fired. All right, I'll use the yellow ones. Somebody stole my Bluetooth, huh? You can use all the cell phone video you want. However, if I catch you shooting vertical video, I will make you my puppy on the internet. Okay. That means when you hold the video camera, you hold it sideways, not like this. Vertical video is a scourge on our time. All right, everybody ready? Clear to fire. Yeah! I love my job. You did good. You drove it negative. You got bonus points. I told you I like to finish with a bang. All right, now. Is everybody alive? There you go. Now, this is the best part of my job. Raise your hand. How many of you know what volts, amps, and watts are now? Yeah. See? There you go. All right. Now, we get to do something really cool. We get to enact anarchy, which is not something people with my kind of job get to do very often. So, everyone head out to the lobby and have a seat. We probably don't have enough seats for this many people, but cool, it's standing room only.
Editor.
You're okay? Good?
Editor.
Smile from your ear. Cool.
Editor. Can you get me something to stand on in the back of the room? Can you get me something to stand on in the back of the room? Ish. Will it hold me? it on my desk, look.
Because it's going to bug me. One of you is smarter than me and will know this. What's the term for the thing that American Indian women use to carry? It's a papoose, where they carry a baby in like a sling. It's called a papoose, isn't it? Huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're on TV now. All right, we got everybody?
No.
All right, keep filing in. Crowding up. That's everybody? Alright, attention! Hi guys, thank you. Alright, some of you did not actually get to go on the tour and are here for the end of the Q&A. If you didn't make it on the tour, there is a schedule of things that will be happening over the next couple hours. All the demos that you just saw will be doing several times throughout the day. Yes, I will be doing high voltage a couple times. The high voltage one happens at 3 and 4, and there will be explosions. So if you want to see that again. Alright. Now, this is where we get to do something really, really cool. This is how I get to change the world in 15 minutes at the end of every week. I don't just work in high voltage physics here. I'm actually the president and founder of this company. I have been for 20 years. Every week, as the president of a national nonprofit organization, I sit down with whoever comes through on a tour, and we have no idea who you are. We can't control who you are. Some of you could be engineers for Tesla, or you could be multi-billionaires, or you could be West Side barflies, or anything in between. And that is awesome. Right now, at this moment, those of you who have just finished the tour have seen every room in the building and all of our secret sauce and all the stuff we do here. At this very moment, you are live on international television. We're broadcasting IPTV, that's what they're seeing. And anybody on Earth with any kind of internet connection, even just a simple cell phone, can tune in and watch. And we can't control who they are. And it's free. Also, at this moment, there's a nice woman over there with a camera who is shooting video of this that will go out unedited onto YouTube. And the internet has a very long memory. So not only can they be tuned in live, they can tune in next year and watch this exact conversation that we're having right now. Now here's where it gets really cool. You guys get to ask me absolutely anything you want. There is no possible way I can prepare for this. I can't have notes. I have no net. I'm on live television. This is critical thinking, transparency, and accountability, and it's how nonprofits should be run. We live in a state that ranks 50th, dead last, with accountability and transparency of our government. I have a problem with that, and I firmly believe that someday you're going to vote, and that matters a great deal to me. So if I can teach you at your age that you're not stupid, and the fact that the entire world talks to you like you're an idiot just because you're short and new, I got problems with that. And if I can teach you that you can ask questions and demand evidence, someday you'll do that for somebody who has names like president after them, or at least president-elect. And that makes the world a better place. My own tiny little way of sticking it to the man. So, anything you want. Who goes first? Go. How can I join this IRC?
Go to irc.thegeekgroup.org, and it's public and freely available. If you're a nerd and are familiar with IRC, Internet Relay Chat, it's really easy to get in. And instructions are on our website. Just go to thegeekgroup.org and click on live. There's a web client to get you in, which is like IRC with training wheels. But just any regular IRC client, go to irc.thegeekgroup.org, you're right in. And the main room is really hard to remember. It's the Geek Group. So I also do live shows on there twice a day. Lots of us do. So next question. Go.
In the upper left of your screen there, it says my left, your right. It says tour rules apply. What
Yes.
are the tour rules?
That means they're not supposed to swear when people can read it behind my head. The IRC is very much an adult environment. The Geek Group is an adult environment. We are not kid-friendly. We did that on purpose. Because we are real people, and I don't like fake people, I don't like dumbing it down, and I don't believe we should put nerf edges on everything. This building is filled with things that will challenge how you think, that may offend you, that will kill you if you don't respect them in many cases. And that's the way real science is done. That's the way real workshops work, and that's the way of most of the world. This is not daycare. If people have a problem with that because of weed precious or whatnot, there's a children's museum downtown, and they're way better funded than we are. Enjoy yourself, they blow bubbles, and have Legos. Next. It's fun, I like the giant bubbles. Next question.
You started this 20 years ago. What were you thinking at that point?
I ask myself that every day. Official professional answer or the truth?
The
Okay, I was 18, I was a nerd. I spent my entire life being the outcast weirdo. You know, I mean, most of us here at the Geek Group, I mean, we're the nerds. We're the guys, it's a social group of people with poor social skills. We're the guys that got beat up at homecoming. And as most 18-year-olds, my primary objective in life was finding girls. And I learned really quick that smart can be sexy. And if you can build something awesome, that attracts people. And that attracts girls. Girls are the point. And we got together and started tinkering and building stuff. It started out with a pair of really big wind-powered carts racing around the Grand Valley. And then we learned the second most important lesson. And that's this. This is neat. It's really hard to talk in generalities about people. And I'm about to do it. And every now and then I get caught up in this. But watch this. There's a little over 80 people in here right now, right? And you're all intelligent people, reasonably. Except this guy. But everybody else is doing all right. Now, none of you know what this is, do you? But all of you want to, don't you? Exactly! That's it! That's how it works. It's called a sincere and passionate desire to learn. And if you have that, you can do anything. This, by the way, you have all seen hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. Most of you have one of these on the side of your house. It's a gas meter. And, by the way, if you take a gas meter, and you take it out of its box, and you put it in a clear box, and you make videos and put it on the internet and teach people how they work, you get really angry emails from DTE. That's how I learned it. But that's really how it started. I'm a nerd. I'm a big 12-year-old boy. I like blowing stuff up. How many people in here like blowing stuff up? See? They won't let you do that outside. You go to jail for this stuff. Like, think about this. Okay. It's totally illegal for me to put 100 fifth graders in that room and shoot 20-foot lightning bolts across the room with a 2.5 million volt power supply that I made. It's against the law for you to change a light switch in your house, because you ain't got the schooling for that. Really, this is the world we live in. This is a place where you can come and build the impossible, and build things that are impractical and are just fun, just because you like blowing stuff up. You can make lightning machines and giant impulse generators. The big explosion that you all saw in there, that's the little one. The big one's in the basement, and I can't let people be in the room when it goes off. It's so powerful. What you saw was 144 million watts. In the basement, 1.8 billion watts. It's like the finger of God. It's awesome. So that's why I did it. Next question. Huh?
How long does the big one take to charge?
It's quicker, actually. It has a bigger power supply. we run that off 480. It takes about 10 seconds to charge. The little one that you saw, the big explosion, honest to God, runs off a microwave oven transformer. It plugs in the wall. You can take that, put it in your living room, it'll work fine. It'll take the windows out of your house, but it'll work fine. If you go in the high voltage lab and look up at the window wall, count how many windows are cracked. I think we have one that's still intact, out of like 30. Next! Anybody over here? You guys really can't ask anything you want. I swear to God, I've gotten boxers or briefs. You can ask anything you want. There's no rules to this.
Where do you hope this will be in 20 years?
I want a campus bigger than Grand Valley's. I want a place where people can get an education without having to worry about a tuition. Because we're the anti-college. We don't exist to replace college. It's important to have a degree granting institute of higher education. But people don't come here to get a degree. For most people, and this is true statistically of the majority of you, you went to college without any idea of what the hell you really wanted to do. Because who has life figured out at 18? I didn't. Well, I was 30 and I still don't. For most people, college is a 4-year party with a $50,000 cover charge. People come here because they want to learn something. How many classes have you sat in where most of the people in the class are bored and they don't really want to be there? They're just there because they need that piece of paper, that receipt for having paid $50,000 and hung out for 4 years. This is a place where you come if you actually, like if you decide tomorrow you want to learn how to program industrial robots. There's $1 million robot in the other room and you can come and play with it. And you don't have to have the core curriculum, and there is no child left behind because that is a problem. And that's the point. If you want to learn about electronics or robotics or physics or chemistry or rockets, or if you want to build model airplanes with your kid, you can do that here, and you can do whatever you want. And there is a bare minimum of rules. The only rules we have exist basically to keep people from killing themselves, and that's about it. Next question. Go.
Any projects that you are working on right now?
Oh God, yes.
You're particularly interested?
I'm working on an FPV thing for, I don't know how many of you have seen this, but imagine taking a model airplane. Now, model airplanes have a radio receiver, right? You have a little radio transmitter and you send commands to the airplane. Well, you can build airplanes today, because we live in the future, where you can put a little camera on the airplane and it sends video, not like pictures, but like streaming video back the other way, and you can put on goggles and you're flying, man. It's awesome. This is the greatest thing ever. It may be cooler than girls. If done right, it is cooler than girls. And I'm building a receiver because I'm a nerd. I have an old satellite dish for a communications uplink. It's a dish like this big and a radio. I'm putting an FPV receiver on the roof of the building and pointing it over to Richmond Park so that I can fly my airplane to Richmond Park, and as long as I'm above the tree line, the antenna here will see it. So I can watch my video there, and the guys on the IRC and the live stream can watch the video from my model airplane flying in the park. But yeah, I mean, how cool is that, right? So yeah, I'm a nerd. And all of you can do this. You can, any standard FPV, any of the Fat Shark system, you can fly an airplane at the park, and we can tune in and watch the video from your airplane flying at the park. So and we have a whole lab, right? Most of you have seen it if you've been to a tour. We have an aeronautics lab downstairs, and a lot of us here fly. Some guys do like rockets or airplanes. I do helicopters and quads. If it flies by radio control, we can fly it, and we can teach you how. Next. What?
Do you think there will ever be remote controlled jumbo airliners?
I have seen with my own eyes, if you were the only person who could land a plane, any base certified instructor on the ground can get on the radio and talk you through landing a plane. And the hardest part for the whole thing for you would be being able to reach the pedals. It's really that easy. Like, if you can read numbers and turn a knob, you can land a jumbo jet today. So it's coming. As far as totally autonomous, I don't know. We'll see. Next. Go.
Do you do any work such as testing or actual contract work for outside vendors?
Yes, but I try to keep it to a minimum, and my rates start at $500 an hour. And there's a reason for that. I don't want to build your stuff. I really don't. You're a great guy. I love you to bits. I don't want to build your stuff. I built a whole building so you can come here and build whatever the hell you want. I don't want to build your stuff. I want to build my stuff. So if you want me to fix your thing, sure. Genius on demand, $500 an hour. And that's standard for the entire staff. That keeps us from having to build projects for people. And it works really well. The sad thing is, I've had people take me up on it. There are people with more money than brains who will stand back and go, just fix it. I don't care. I need it to work. We're losing $50,000 an hour. Make it work. So it happens. Any other questions? I got, where?
There was one over there.
You're pointing here. He's pointing here. Go.
Okay, go here.
I love this concept.
Okay.
I think that it's really awesome, and I can see the benefit of condensing it all into one big area where everybody
It needs to be a much bigger area.
It does need to be a bigger area, but I also think about all of the other areas out there that are not going to have as much access to this. We live 40 minutes away, so for us to do a membership, we could
Where do you
probably
live?
come every Cedar Spring.
Okay. That's why we have chapters.
That's what I was
We are
thinking of.
building, that's a big thing happening this year. If you go in the big main room, the main demonstration hall, look at the ceiling, there's 100 flags in there. We have a couple hundred more to hang. We have members in over 160 countries, and we are looking to, it's the exact same business model as the Girl Scouts. And if you want to have a chapter in Cedar Springs, get a dozen people meeting once a week and call me.
And get volunteers and get buildings.
We're working on building all the infrastructure to be able to seed chapters.
Having like little maker sheds everywhere.
Yep, that's what we're pushing for. And the Geek Group centrally is a hub so that the tools that you need that you may not have, like Ed's got tools in his makerspace, and you've got tools, but you're more geared towards electronics, and he's more geared towards metalworking and woodworking. So if you need a bandsaw, he's got it. My job is to be the liaison to network you two together so that you don't have to go buy tools you only need once a year. And we're the central hub. That's why the sign out front says Galactic Headquarters. We think big. Next! There was one over here, I've been told. No? Alright, I got, go!
When are you going to have Gemini back?
I'm working on it today. I'm working on it today. It's not going to be called Gemini. We're going to a larger fundamental class of coils. So the Gemini class coils are 100 kVA 12-inch secondary. We're going to 200 kVA, and I'm tinkering with the idea of 24-inch secondary if I can figure out how to wind the thing. It's underway. The MMC isn't done yet. You know why? Where is it? Where's Kidwell? That. It's his fault. Right there. He's the reason. Everybody, Paul Kidwell. It's his fault the MMC isn't being built yet because he hasn't bought the tubing. So you should send him an email. I will give you his email address. I know, right? See? This is what I'm up against. Did you have a question?
No, sure.
Okay. Any other questions? Or are we done? Good. Thank you everyone for coming. Now here's what you need to know. If you're interested in becoming a member, go in that room. Ask any person who's wearing a shirt that says staff and they will help you out. Membership is very expensive. Last year, membership was $40 a month. As you know, prices always go up because of inflation. However, I sat right here every week last year, and I said the only reason a membership is $40 a month is because I can't figure out how to get it down to 20. Well, over Christmas break, I figured it out. Membership is 20 bucks a month. It's in there. Talk to them. Thank you all for coming. What? Oh, God! There's way too many people. This is going to end bad. All right, here's how we create an administrative train wreck in 30 seconds. On the tables in front of you are a bunch of sheets of paper and pens.
Put that one back.
Everybody who possibly can, please steal a pen and a piece of paper. Take like 3 minutes and fill it out. It is our report card. All of you can do this. When you are done, place your paper on the pool table so that we can read them and see how bad we suck today. Go, you have a question.
Family membership?
Family memberships are very expensive. They're a whole $30. And it's every member of your family. And that's what you consider family. You don't have to be blood relatives. If you got somebody living in your house and they're your family, they're family.
All right.
We're not that fussy about it. It's a rock and roll job. Thank you, everyone.
I know.
Hi guys, my name is Chris Boden. Welcome to the Geek Group. This is my toy box. It's the High Voltage High Energy Physics Lab. This is Mr. Kidwell, Sam, and Ed, and together we're going to play with some fun toys. Before I start out, I'm going to ask anybody, you don't need those, you really don't. If any of you have any biomechanical implants, if you have hearing aids, or if you have a pacemaker or a defibrillator or even an insulin pump, I really need to know because I work very hard to not kill people. And this room is filled with things that will kill you the moment you don't expect them, so it's kind of fun like that. What?
What about braces?
No, braces are totally cool. However, sometimes the piercings get interesting. If any of you have captive bead piercings, the kind that is a ring with a little bead, if the bead is made of metal, you're fine. If the bead is made of plastic, what you're wearing is a spark gap receiver, and I have a really big transmitter that we're going to turn on. So parts of you might tingle. It won't hurt, but remember my name. Alright, so, this is about to shoot apart from here to here. If you're standing on a line, you won't see it. So the further you are down, the better this is to see. Move around as you see it. Alright. What we're going to do, what we're going to do is we're going to take 120 volts from a regular wall plug right here, and it really is just a regular power supplies. Now, by the way, this is where things get cool because you're all used to hearing, don't try this at home. Absolutely try this at home and we will teach you how to build this stuff. All of these toys that I'm playing with here are for you. This whole workshop is for you. This whole building is for you to come and learn how to build anything you can imagine. That's the point. That's why we exist here. So, I now have my giant rubber gloves of safety and science. These aren't for high voltage or anything. I grew up in a dairy farm and it's just a comfort. So, Sam, arm the system, please. Power on.
Oh, I got to stop there.
Okay. Now, you've all seen the thing on TV for Consumers Power about don't touch down power lines. This is why. What I have right now is a stick with about 100,000 watts on the end of it, 30,000 volts. And if I touch it to the ground, I just get a little tiny, about an inch. Nothing big at all. Doesn't look very dangerous. Looks like something you can pick up and play with. This is why you don't want to do that. That's the actual power. See, the one on the ground, people are like, oh, I can't really see that. Yeah, you see that? If you touch that, it will kill you. It will take a minute, and it will hurt really bad the whole time. Also, a cool bit of science, if you look at the fire, the arc right off the end of my stick, you'll see that it's blue. That's because the stick, my super high-tech probe of science, is made of a knitting needle, which is aluminum. And when aluminum oxidizes, it turns blue. Sam! Thank you, sir. Flare it. System safe. And now we get to finish with the bearing. You got it loaded?
No, not yet.
Alright, I'll let you load it. I trust you. Over here, we have Mr. Kidlow. And this is Project Thumper. It is a research impulse generator. What it is it's a big container that we put lots and lots and lots of electricity in. We store it all up, and then we let it all go at once. So this is downstairs in the MDH. We have a $70,000 car. It's a beautiful car. It's called a Lotus. And it'll do 0 to 60 in about 4 seconds, give or take. And getting into the Lotus and doing 0 to 60 in 4 seconds is a little adjustment to the Lotus. So, if you and I hop in the Lotus, go down the lever, go 0 to 60 in 4 seconds, it's great, it's awesome! Let's say that uses 100,000 watts of power. It doesn't, but I like running those. If we then drive the car into an overpass and decelerate from 60 miles an hour to 0 in 5 thousandths of a second, we're going to have a bad day. But we just use the exact same amount of energy. It still takes 100,000 watts of power to decelerate. So what we're doing here, electrically, is we're going to take about a minute and a half to charge up. That thing just plugs in the wall. It's got a little microwave over the power supply. It really is. We've got a little microwave. And we plug it in. It takes about a minute and a half, and we suck in all the energy we possibly can out of the bulb electric and break. And then, instead of letting it out in a minute and a half, we let it all out in 3 thousandths of a second. So for a very brief moment in time, we will discharge more energy than the entire city of Grand Rapids is using in that moment combined. So it's like having your own little power plant. Are you shooting video right now? No. Okay. When you do, vertical video is a bane of my existence. People do it every day.
It doesn't care.
Huh? Yeah, it does. It does. It goes on YouTube. It gets bars. It's just... Alright, we are going to put it on the floor. Lily, hi. Are you nervous? You should be, because there's like 8 people with cameras. Like that would look to 1,000 people. And yeah, you're famous on the internet. So you have one very important job. Okay? In a few minutes, you're going to hear this sound. I'm going to then touch you on the shoulder so that you know I'm talking to you. This is not a moment
Don't look at the button though.
When I discharge this, it will be loud as hell. Are you going to be a musician? Are you going to be a musician? Okay. When I do this, it will be loud as hell. When you hear this sound 3 times in a row, it means plug your ears if you want to. You don't have to. It won't hurt you because of the inverse square law and physics works. You are safe distance away. That's why there's a big cage here, and we put that on the other side of the room. If you want to plug your ears in, you understand how to do it. So don't do it yet, because I'm going to talk for you. Because it takes 90 seconds for this thing to charge. What in God's name are you doing? Kidwell? Yes? Where's my key? Oh, it's hidden. I found the key. It's super deep secret. It's usually in the front. Alright, we have armed the system. I have done a visual check to ensure that the system is safe and clear of people. They get annoyed when I roll this. Now, think about electricity like water in a pipe. Volts is how we measure the pressure of the water. Amps is how big around your pipe is, how much water you have. Watts is how far we can blast the kid across the parking lot with fire hose. Okay, it's volts times amps. It's the unit of power. A regular AA battery has 1.5 volts and about 1 amp. So you get about 1.5 volts. A car battery is about 12 volts and about 100 amps. Your wall socket in your house is 120 volts at 15 amps. So you get about 1,800 watts there. This is how you know the guy on Craigslist trying to sell you the 5,000 watt meter amp is lying to you. There's only 1,800 watts in the wall. No matter what he says, there's only 1,800 watts in the wall. Your entire house runs on 240 volts at about 100 amps. This building runs on 480 volts at about 1,200 amps. And when you push the button, you will discharge 1,800 volts at 80,000 amps for 144 million watts. This will be loud. You might want to plug your ears and remember not to eat. Here's where it gets really cool. Everybody wants to watch. Right here. That's where it's going to happen. Okay? I'm going to freak all of you out after the explosion. Alright, plug your ears if you want to. Somebody's got a giant melon on top of their neck. God! What in the heavens of this? The battery in your iPhone holds about as much energy as what you just saw get discharged. Really. But, because science works in chemistry, you can't extract all that energy out of the battery that fast. If you could, cell phones would be grenades. But really, the battery in a standard cell phone holds about as many watt hours as what we just did, which is weird. So as far as my super buildings go, and earlier before my super buildings is that's what I was saying, you should see my little video. It doesn't shoot babies, it shoots tennis balls. Out of visible sight. Like big fun. Alright, any questions? You can ask absolutely anything you want. There are no rules to this. Go. Oh, those are cool. You want to see what those are for? Watch. Hang on a second. Let me make sure we're safe. OSHA, the government, requires that we have an emergency stop button over there by where Sam is, and one by the door. So you can run across the street like a little girl running out. This room has 14 of them. And when Sam arms the system, you'll notice they all light up red. Now, let's say that something's going is a 6-inch Tesla coil. This one's good for about 6 feet, give or take. Back there, hidden away, is an 8-inch Tesla coil. We can get about 10 feet out of that without any problems. Over here, this one isn't wound yet. This is a 25-inch Tesla coil. The empty piece of just the pipe alone weighs 200 pounds. That, by the way, is the largest PVC pipe money can buy. We have 3 pieces of it. You have to wait 6, if you bought it today, you have to wait 6 months to get it, because they only make it twice a year. And a single empty piece of pipe. For this piece of pipe here, this is 1-inch pipe. You can buy this at Home Depot for like $5. The 12-inch, the big pipe like this, is about $100 a piece. You get to special order it. The 25-inch, which is 24 inches inside diameter, is $20,000 a piece. Yeah, we have 3 pieces. They donated it because we asked nicely. And when we built that system, a 12-inch coil, we can do 20-foot arcs. That's the maximum we can do in this room. We can do longer length, but beyond 20 feet in this room, we just hit the ceiling. Instead of going side to side, it goes up. And we just put a roof on the building, and I'm not allowed to hit the ceiling with lightning anymore. I get yelled at a lot when I do that. With the 25-inch coil, the large secondaries for that, you can see in the big room with all the cars and the giant circly thing with the robot in it. If you look in that room, just walk in the door and scan to the left, you'll see 3 giant pipes. That's Zeus. It's what we're building. We're going to require an area the size of a football field. Our goal is 100 foot arcs. So, yeah, this is what we're building in Grand Rapids. And a lot of you would ask, why would you do that? Yes, okay, there's a really simple reason. How many of you have seen the musical fountain? Raise your hands. The musical fountain, Grand Haven. If you grew up in this area, you probably have. Okay, see, all the locals do this, especially if you live west of here, you've been there. And after 20 minutes, you're sitting there wondering, why am I here? Because it's a garden sprinkler with an 8-track sound system. And I want to build a high-voltage energy research environment where people can come and do actual research with stuff at this level where normal people never do this. This building is filled with stuff like that. We have a laser lab downstairs. Just the table is a $30,000 table because it's really most sincerely flat. Anything, when you deal with optics, they just start adding zeros. And the idea is that out in the real world, these types of toys are reserved for people who have PhDs. I think this is bad and easy to fix because I think that you should be able to play with track robots and you should be able to play with resources. And that's what we do.
Really powerful lasers?
No, it's not. Everybody knows what I said. Think about it. The current generation, okay, these young gentlemen right here, have grown up in a post-9/11 world. They've grown up in a world where you can't be trusted with power tools. You can't be trusted with responsibility. And everything has to be dumbed down to the lowest common possible denominator.
No more M80s.
This man and I and our youth did things that today would put you in prison for the rest of your life. I've never met him, and I know, because look at the smile. He's like, oh, yeah, when I was a kid, we could get ditching dynamite for $5 instead. Yeah, far more. I understand. And the problem with that is, if we raise a generation of kids thinking like that, we're going to get a generation of kids that can't be trusted with power tools or responsibility and are actually genuinely dumb. And they're going to vote someday. I'm trying to fix this. It's why we're here. So the idea is they can come here and learn fundamentally important things like stupid hurts. I would rather have them do it here where if you screw up in this room, and I've done this, if you screw up in this room, you set the room on fire. I did it. Cost $60,000, shut the company down for 3 months, took the better part of a year to clean up, and I still don't have my giant Tesla coils built yet, but it's why there's schmoo on things. Like, notice all these have soot on them? It's because we haven't got done cleaning everything yet. What are you going on? Smart watches can be dumb. Go.
What's the difference between the bell rings in the ceiling and then the insulator on the new lighting wires?
The thing hanging from the ceiling is called a petticoat insulator, if you understand why you're over the age of 50. But that's a petticoat insulator. They're for hanging things in tension. And it looks really delicate because it's ceramic. You can hang your car from that. The one on the floor is a station post insulator, and they're compression. And that one sitting there is probably rated for like 10,000 pounds of weight. It's really not
thinking nothing of holding that stupid little piece of pipe. But they just serve different applications. That's for hanging things from, that's for setting things on. Any other questions? Cool. Thank you for coming and playing with high voltage. Time is 17:58 hours, and 2 Scots is here. Are you both the Scots?
Yeah.
He's
Scott
number 1 today.
Okay.
Tom Scott number 2. Tom Scott.
Okay. Hi, gentlemen. Welcome to the Geek Group. So, what do you have? I have heard and experienced the legend of 2 Scots.
Today we have sliders of 2 varieties. Smoked pulled chicken. Smoked pulled pork.
Cool.
With our house-made coleslaw, house-made pickles, house-made sauces. We don't make the buns though, I'm sorry.
Okay.
We buy those from Nantucket Baking Company.
Really?
Yeah.
I figured you get stuff from Arnie's. They're across the street, so.
Yeah, no, I've worked with Nantucket a lot in the past.
Okay.
I really enjoy them.
So where is Nantucket? Teach me about them.
Their production bakery is now on Michigan Street.
Okay.
And then they have a retail bakery on like Lion and what's that cross street? Lion and
Union?
Union? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Union and Lion. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So
still local.
Those of us, 6 blocks from you guys are very familiar with 2 Scots, so we're regulars there for lunch. Teach the world about 2 Scots, like the blog viewers.
What we do is we make everything from scratch. We smoke on site. We do everything from rubs, sauces, even pickles. Everything we do.
You make your own pickles?
We do make our own pickles.
Okay, that's supremely badass.
Sweet and hot bread and butter pickles. Like I said, the only thing that we really don't make is the buns.
Okay.
Because I'm not a baker, never professed to be. So yeah, we do everything. We smoke it in-house, on-premise, and everything is made from scratch. And we do everything fresh, everything smoked the night before. Served.
Now, what time do you guys open?
We open at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
During the winter right now, we're open just for lunch, 11 to 3.
Okay.
We're going to expand some hours come summertime.
We're looking forward to that. Tell me that you guys start delivering and we're set. You have a lot of fans here at the lab.
We have a lot of things in the works for this next summer.
Okay.
So delivery is one of those things. We're working on.
Well, we appreciate your guys' help.
Yeah,
Thank you for being part of the event.
For sure.
Welcome.
Cool. All right, so feed the herd.
Feed the herd.
All right, it's 1914 hours. We're winding down. Most people are fried.
Oh, super fried.
Yeah. All right.
So.
Do I get to pick the winner?
Yes.
Cool.
So,
Here.
all day we've been having people enter the raffle and they get their choice of prize.
Okay.
An annual membership, a field trip for their school.
I'm moving.
A field trip for their school, 10 hours of machine time or $50 in tier 2 materials.
Okay.
So this is our raffle bucket.
Okay.
So you pick one winner and we will contact them.
Getting down to the cheap seat.
We've shaken it multiple times.
Dalton. Dalton is the winner.
Excellent.
1692189. Dalton is the winner. Are you Dalton? Okay.
I know who Dalton is.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, he's cool.
In a desiccation container.
I told Rose to find a glass container.
Whatever works.
It's okay, it had line at one point.
Yeah, it's had a hard life.
And I watched her wash it, so.
All right, so, and we have winners on the
winners?
thing?
Yep. We even have winners from the IRC.
Really? IRC people won?
Yes.
Cool.
Chris, we need a yes vote.
Huh?
You need a yes, please.
For what?
Just vote yes. We'll explain that later.
No. No. What are we voting?
Actual bucket.
I'll let Vicki explain.
We feel that we should have a karaoke machine at the board meeting.
At the work meetings?
That's
No.
my face.
No.
I heard yes.
I did too.
And you can wear your Oscar.
Okay, we got 12.
And now you know everything you need to know about how the board of directors functions at the Geek Group.
Only if we soundproof the boardroom first, then I'm okay with that.
And then you can wear
If
your
you
Oscar
want to
shirt.
sing, we're building a recording studio. Help raise the funding, and you can sing into
We
vocals
did.
with all you like.
They did help.
Yeah,
I helped.
Vicky won the lawnmower.
Yay!
This is cool.
Oh,
Where's
look,
Harris's
you know how to
chin?
use it.
I know how to use one of these very well. I've done my time.
Excellent.
I've seen your yard.
Yeah.
I think that you also
Okay,
get two
so what do we
free
got?
meals from my kids.
So we have
Awesome.
quite a few winners.
Okay.
Notably, Jensen Van Lin has a Roomba now.
Jensen Van Lin won the Roomba?
Yes.
Okay, congratulations IRC. Any other ones you know of like people we know?
Hey, baby. Most of them are actually people we don't know.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But we have winners on everything?
No.
No?
No. There were some boxes that did not get fixed today.
Oh, okay.
So we will be putting up around for the internet. We'll be splitting them up into.
Okay.
Different.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But most of them have winners.
Cool.
Like,
So this was a good idea. It worked well. We'll be doing this for future
very
events.
well.
Okay.
The barbecue worked fantastic.
It's 2 stops. That was that.
Looking
that
forward
was
to
easy.
mailing a Roomba.
They got here, so.
Yeah. We still have the box.
We still have the box. We can just turn around and put it right back in.
Okay. So successful. Oh, hey, what's the results on the pool?
Oh, let me go look.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
Wait, you gotta take this because I got the numbers.
Okay. So we had a pool going because I'll bet on anything. I bet on Ebola. I did. I had a pool going on Ebola.
Did you win?
And no, Vicky won that actually. And I think you did. We'll have to check.
What?
And Vicky and I and a couple other people, the Ebola pool.
Oh.
So we had a pool going on how many people would come today, and what are the results?
188.
188 people.
Filled out a ticket.
Okay, that's a good thing.
I didn't fill out a ticket.
She did not fill out a ticket.
189. All right.
So we have 188 verified visitors.
Okay.
So the closest person at 173 is Rose.
Rose wins. Where's Rose?
She went
She
home.
went home. Rose sucks. Okay, but Rose won the pool. So how much did she win?
$15.
Okay, well, hey, it's 15 bucks. Yeah, I know. I seeded it at 10. So yeah, see, this is why you should get in on the pools. All right, so that's the blog for the day. It's been a day, and tomorrow, lights, outdoors, locked, sleep. Enjoy yourselves. So that's today's Captain's Blog. You guys have fun. I'm Chris Boden, and you are not. And she likes to hustle.
On that note,
Let's see how long we can go before she cracks.
She wouldn't dance with me. I tried. We'll see you tomorrow.
Inside of the gas meter. You know,
You have one on the side of your house.
big green gas meter that measures your gas usage.
the one that consumers is getting in trouble for not reading?
DTE.
Oh, okay. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty nifty.